Shalom, shalom, it's the brother Kadash. I want to start off by giving our praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. This is just more on the race riots that happened in Springfield, Illinois. And I actually made a couple videos about this, but this video is more so about the actual land, some deeper details. So when I say the actual land, there was a place called the Badlands, right here in Springfield, Illinois. So of course, that's where the so-called Negroes, the African Americans, lived at, and they call it the Badlands. You see, it's just crazy. So it just shows you the hatred, that was had for our people. Now you may be thinking, man, that's 1600s, that's the 1700s. No, this was August 15, 1908. This is what, 1908. So you add 100 years to that, you get 2008. You add another 15 years to that, so this was about 115 years ago. That's it. That's your grandma's mom. That's your great grandma for some of us. That's around the time your great grandma lived for some of us, I would say. Or for great grandma or great great grandma, in between those times. You see what I'm saying? Most of us met our great grandma. I met my great grandma. I knew my great grandma throughout a great portion of my life. You see what I'm saying? I'm a young man, so just think of the older men. So if you're 50, then your grandma, your mom is probably 70. Your grandma would be around like 90 or 100, and your great grandma would be around 115, 120. If you're a 50-year-old, if you're a 30-year-old, then just take 20 away from that. That's why I say your great grandma or your great great grandma, right? Or you say your great grandfather or your great great grandfather. I just use great grandma because we didn't know our great grandfather. You know what I mean? And that's another tragedy that's a part of the curses that is on the so-called African American man. This is how we're able to identify things like us being a true Hebrew Israelites. We had a brother come down to camp today, and we were teaching him this, to the best of our abilities. And this is the thing, right? And this is the interesting thing. It's, sometimes brothers come out to the camp. Man, we not just perfect, man. Let me put it that way. You have brothers come down to the camp. Sometimes you put on a great performance. You hitting all the precepts perfect, like you playing Guitar Hero. You see what I'm saying? You hitting all the Guitar Hero, like you playing, like you hitting all the precepts perfect. They coming right to mind. You not missing none. You saying all your words fluently. Sometimes that happens, and sometimes you have lesser performances. It happened to me plenty of times. You know what I mean? Where if you had a long weekend, your head's hurting, your head's ringing, but you still out there doing the work, even through the adversity that you're going through. Your words might slur a little bit here, might slur a little bit there. You might have they call it a brain fart. You might forget. Your memory, you're not as sharp. That happens, but those times are even better than the times when you are short, because it makes you work and see if you're going to get through it, if you're going to keep pushing through it, if you're going to keep fighting through it when you have that adversity, man. So speaking about the so-called black African Americans, right, which are Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, we had a lot of adversity. Like I said, this is 115 years ago, not too long ago. And this is in the town that I'm in, Springfield, Illinois. You see what I'm saying? And there was a Badland. So I got more slides, right? So the state capital. So if you take right here where it says the state capital, right? You find it on there. We teach, okay, and then this is the courthouse and the county jail. So we're probably, what street is that? 5th Street. So if you go up here to 5th Street, right? And then you go up past Washington Street, and you go past, Jefferson Street, I believe so. I want to make sure I got that correct. So if you go up by 5th Street, this is the county jail right here. So we're a little bit up farther, maybe 3 blocks, I think, up even farther. Somewhere around Jefferson or Madison. I can't think of it off the top of my head. So right here it says the mob gather. And it tells you right over here where the one's at. On your right hand side, it tells you this is where the mob gather. They gather around the county jail in the courthouse area. What a coincidence. And it just shows you that the Edomites are in the state is for them. It's made for them, and they're together. They're one. You know, the police, your local police station, and your local militia, white militia, whether it be a bikers group or whatever, because it says militia encampments at the top. They're one together. I'll say it again. Your police station and your militia, your racist militia groups, whether it be a bikers group, whatever they hide themselves under, they're one together. The members that make up your police station or your police force is the same members that make up the white militias, man. They're one together. You see what happened in Atlanta. I ain't gonna speak on it in too much detail, but you see what happened in Atlanta. You know that brother. I'm not gonna say he bugged out. You know, he just had the Lord put it in his spirit. He had that Nat Turner spirit on him, and he said, "Hey, man, to hell with these devils, man." He had enough. You see what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they gonna paint the picture like, you know, those devils were good people and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they was exactly what they're called, devils, demons. You see what I'm saying? But they call him the monster. How is he the monster? You on stolen land. Look at all the hatred you guys do, because they were killing people. People actually died doing this riot or whatever. And it's called the route of lynch mob of this racism that was going on, man. People actually died. African American Israelites, blood was shed, man. So then when our people started to get some get back, now they the monster. You see how they paint it? So just imagine when the Lord come back, they're gonna paint the Lord like he's a monster to humankind. But they mocking the Lord. You poking the bear. Y'all mock the Lord. Look at the ABC boys with the rainbow. What is that? The rainbow was, you know, the Lord's promise that he would never flood the earth again, you know, to cleanse the earth by water. They took that and used it for something that goes completely against the Lord and what the Lord says. You see how wicked they are? So you're constantly poking at the Lord. You're constantly tempting the Lord, and then when the Lord give you what the fuck you want, then you gonna want to play victim. This is how these people are, man. You seen it in school plenty of times. Edomites be fucking with you, messing with you. You get up, pop on them in their mouth, and then they play victim. And then everybody will take their side. You see it with the small heads all the time, man. They always play fucking victim, man. They do all this lending of usury, wicked acts, and then you call them out about it, and then they get to playing victim. So what you think they gonna do when the Lord comes? When the Lion of Judah is coming back, what you think they gonna do? They gonna say he the bad guy, man, and make themselves seem like the good guys. This is what they do, man. Right? So the Lord got them in a trick bag. The Lord got them in a major trick bag. So let's see. Where we teach at, which I think it is on here, which I'm just having a brain for it. I guess that's what they call it, right? I believe it's between 5th Street and Jefferson. It just looked different back then, right? Because you could see the Capitol from exactly diagonal from where we teach at. You could see the Capitol, which is right here. So isn't that the spirit? So now let's go. I got some more slides. So this is another slide right here. This show you where the Badlands are at, right? So all the green in this slide is considered the Badlands. So you see 7th Street, 6th Street, 5th Street is over here, kind of towards your left where you could see, you see 6th Street, and then the next street is 5th Street. We teach like right in that area, downtown, and that's the spirit that led us there. because we could have went anywhere. And people asked us, why are you guys down here? And we get them the same answer, because this is where the Spirit of the Lord led us to go teach, man. So we're really right next to the Badlands. Now the Badlands today will be around the area, I believe, of a place called Madison, right? It's like an apartment complex, for people that's on like housing and stuff like that. It'd be around here, around Washington Street. So Washington Street. Now I actually lived on Washington Street before. I literally lived on Washington Street before. So this area that's also in the Badlands, I think the office that you have to go to apply for housing, which is called Section 8, or I believe it's called, Section 8, is inside of the area that will be called Badlands. Do you see how the Spirit worked, man? So it's really still an area that's dominated by Israelites, African Americans, or so-called blacks to this day. I got another slide. Let's keep going. So this is where they were coming. They had a mob of Edomites that was coming to live. So if you heard the other videos I made about this story, you will see that it was two brothers that was accused of rape against two Edomite women. You see what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what happened. One got let go. One got trialed. He went on trial. He got hung and killed. And then many other so-called African American blacks also was put to death, including, I believe, a child too was put to death. But they did fight back, because some Edomites got put to death too. I think it was close to like 19 people or something like that. But it was like thousands of people that was involved in the whole thing. There was like over 200 something indictments, I believe, and thousands of people that was injured. You see what I'm saying? So I got this Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, which is also known as Sirach, chapter 12, right? And I want to start at verse 10. It says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So slaves were coming from the south because it was heavy slavery down there, and they were coming up north to get better lives and to be treated better. But in the race riots, another thing that happened here in Springfield, Illinois, is they were saying that they didn't like that the blacks didn't know their place. Pretty much meaning that their place, y'all are under us. Y'all are lesser than us, and you can't have relationships with our women. So they were falsely accused, the two men were falsely accused. We've seen this happen time to time. We've seen it happen with Emmett Till. You see what I'm saying? So they didn't like that blacks didn't know their place, meaning pretty much you under me. And this, like I said, your white militias and your police stations go hand in hand. They work together, because it's the same thing. The police didn't, just like in the 80s, the 1980s, the police didn't like that so many black people were getting so much money, because they were making money off drugs and they were getting connections and they were obtaining power. So what happened? It shows you how your government, your local police station, and your white militias and your regular Edomite people on the street all are really in cahoots together. That's why they're all guilty. None of them are innocent. Even if you get, like, just say a white person that's super nice, but they're still going along with the cause to help their people as a group be wicked and continue to be wicked by having power and having the Israelites in slavery. You see how it works? So they're still guilty. Just because they do a nice deed, that don't mean nothing, because they're still contributing to the power structure of the Edomite man ruling over the Israelites. You see how it worked? Right? Because we had a situation where Illinois passed a gun. It was like a gun ban. And it was like a law. They banned the guns, the assault rifles. But the regular Edomites on the streets got to complaining because they didn't want to let go of their guns. And guess what the police station do? They didn't uphold that law. Guess what they did? They said that they wasn't going to honor the law because of the Constitution. So they really get to pick and choose what laws they want to honor. They don't have to honor these ones, but then they can't honor these ones if it breaks the Constitution too, like child support. They honor that one, that breaks the Constitution too. Paying taxes, that breaks your constitutional rights. But they honor those ones, the laws that were made after. They honor those ones, but the assault rifle ban, they don't want to honor that one. So they get to pick and choose. And what swayed them to pick and choose? The regular Edomite men and militias that were complaining about it. That's what swayed them. So it shows you how they really all work together, right? So the African American man, let's just say so-called blacks, right? They should never be trying to move. If we go back during this time, they should have never been trying to move amongst the Edomites. You know, Martin Luther King did a very bad thing, but you know, it's possible that he repented before his death. You see what I'm saying? It's possible that he came back, reincarnated, and has repented. That's possible. He might be a brother that's in the truth right now. A strong brother that's in the truth. It's very possible. You see what I'm saying? So we ain't gonna hold him to that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he was doing what the Lord wanted him to do. You see what I'm saying? But on our scale, or a human scale, right? It was a bad thing because the integration was you got to trust your enemy to live amongst your enemy. You know, blacks, when we got out of slavery, we should have been trying to find some land and go somewhere far away from these people as possible. You see what I'm saying? So let's keep going. It says, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So you've seen it. Hey, you guys are free. Hey, you guys are citizens. Hey, you know, we're gonna for helping us win our independence. You know what I mean? We're gonna give you these things, and they lied, and you've seen their wickedness. So what we're saying is today, again, you're gonna see their wickedness again as things get worse and worse, and you're already starting to see it. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou should be into him as thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou should know that his rest has not been altogether wiped away. So even today in 2023, that's what we telling you. They wickedness ain't all the way. I know you guys feel like, hey man, slavery was so long, but I'm showing you this was in 1908. This wasn't too long ago. So I'm showing you like, hey look, they still those same people, man, that had us in slavery. Now, don't for one second think that they not that no more. It says, set him not by thee. See, you can't set him by thee, lest when he has overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. So the Native Americans and Latinos had the land, right? But they stood up, they overthrown them, and now they're known as Americans. You see what I'm saying? Or they gentrify your neighborhoods. You see, like a neighborhood like this, the Badlands. This is a area where the so-called blacks live at, but they'll come take it, right? And they start opening up stores nearby, apartment complex nearby, and then next thing you know, as time go by, all the so-called blacks will be pretty much scattered from this area, and then it'll just be like a upscale white neighborhood. They stood up in your place, man. It says, neither let him sit at thy right hand. So this is our enemy, and it's saying never trust him. But you guys is telling us in the Christian church that we need to trust them, love them, and let them sit at our right hand. That's what you guys are telling us, man. But this says don't let him sit by thy right hand. So that's what we saying. You know, the Hebrew Israelites saying, look, don't trust the other nations because they're our enemies. And then the Christian church is saying, hey, no, trust them and forgive them, and they could be one with us. But we know what's going to happen to them. Like I said, they wickedness ain't wiped away yet. They going to end up showing their true horns, their true colors. But then it's going to be too late for you guys that did trust them. Right? It says, lest he seek to take thy seat. So no, we Edomites can't be saved with Israelites, because all the Edomites going to try to do is to just take the kingdom from us. We done seen it happen over and over again. It says, and thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Who would pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? So these Christian churches, Pastor Dow, you know, you got all these other nations amongst your congregation. When they finally bite you, man, nobody's gonna pity you because we warned you. And history, not even just us warning you from our mouth, history has warned you. You see the history and the nature of these people. And you're being, well, I would say, I would use the word is you're pretty much disregarding their history. That shows who they are. So when they finally bite you, that serpent finally bites you, ain't nobody gonna pity you. It says, or any such as come nigh wild beasts. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? It says for a while, and then brothers gotta watch out for that. You know who you dealing with on the streets. You know these guys are sinners, but we go amongst the sinners to teach them, right? But if you just start following the sinner's way, that's what made us call Gentiles. Is we start following the ways of the other nations in that context. But even just wicked people, you know, you might have a wicked dude that you grew up with, man, you start going around them, that shit starts to rub off on you. It's either you gonna rub off on him, the good, or he gonna rub off on you, whoever's stronger, you know what I mean? It says, for a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. And we know, going to Ezekiel, I believe that's 35, that Esau was not satisfied with blood, man. Right? So they speak sweetly with their lips. Hey, man, you know, help us fight in the war. You know, we still got Israelites that's in the army. Hey, man, help us fight for our independence, and we're going to give you 40 acres. We're going to let you guys go free, but it was a lie. They spoke sweet things. Then they put you on the front line to die first. Then they lied to you and took everything back. Didn't give you nothing. We still fighting for reparations to this day. They don't want to give it to us. Now they got the money. They got the money to do it. Because they could just make up the money. Really. But they don't want to do it. You think they ain't got the money? Go do your homework. Go research and do your homework on America sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. I'm talking about we probably at the $100 billion mark. Whether if you look at it as just money they sending them or weapons. And they not done sending money yet. They still gonna continue sending money. They finna send more money actually. Woo. So they were speaking sweetly when they needed our help. Just like with the Native Americans. That's where you get the whole Thanksgiving and pilgrim shit from. They spoke sweetly, but in their mind they was like, man, we gonna take this land. In their mind they was like, man, we gonna put them in a different form of slavery. Let's think of something different. We gonna put them in a different type of slavery, man. Right? Verse 17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. So when things happen to the black community, Latino, Native American community, like what happened at the end of 2019 and all through 2020, guess who was there? Who behind the scenes actually did that? And the news is coming out about that. It was Esau, man, and Moab together. Oh, y'all thought Esau and Moab is enemies? No, Esau and Moab is, you could call them competitors. Now, having a person as a competitor don't make them your enemy. The back and forth that you see between China and Russia that's because they're competitors, not enemies. They actually work together, man, on a lot of different things. Esau's enemy is the Israelites, not Moab. The Lord is Esau's enemy. Yahushai is Esau's enemy, man, not Moab, man. They working together, man. That's why World War III ain't popped off yet. How could they control everything? If you got a true enemy, unexpected things are going to happen. It's like everything they doing, it seems like it's being controlled. And it's being for a appointed time. Now, we know the Lord is controlling everything, but Esau is controlling this on this level. He's controlling it Cause they're not really enemies. This thing is being planned, man. They planning everything that's happening. Cause they want to come with the new world system, the image of the beast, and they want to come with the mark of the beast. They know what they doing. They trying to prepare themselves for their true enemy, that war in the heaven. They getting prepared for that, which is gonna be their true enemy, the Lord, man. Moab ain't gonna get us freedom. Edomite versus Edomite ain't gonna get us freedom. The Lord is gonna come and get us freedom, man. That's the only way you're getting freedom, man. Esau and Moab is working together. They are competitors, but they working together. Being a competitor is different than being an enemy, man. I just had to throw that out there. Right? He says, it says, and thou he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. So he gonna pretend like he helping us in 2020, but the whole time they were planning against us. He would shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. Doing anything, bro. Just to trick you. Right? You think y'all thought Abraham Lincoln was a good president? Never trust thy enemy, man. Abraham Lincoln, that shit was all set up, bro, because of power. Not because he just liked it, black people. We had a brother, an elder, come down and talk to us at camp. We explained these things to him, and then right after we got done explaining to him, he asked me to take a picture of him with Abraham Lincoln, a devil. He just got done explaining this to you, man. It's safe to say that Esau's plan has been working, but guess what? The Lord's gonna catch them slipping, you know, and it's plenty of precepts that speaks about that. So this is Illinois' 1908 Springfield race riot, right? And this is a site. So you see it's on fire. The building is burnt down completely to the ground. So they got actual pictures, man. Let's keep going. Here's another one of a hate crime. So where's the reparations for this hate crime that happened in Springfield? Where's the judgment for this? The righteous judgment. But you know, we don't look at it from them. We looking at it from the Lord. So when we say that the Lord's gonna come back and do this and do that to them and destroy them, hey, this is the reason why. Look, it's on photo. It's on photo, bro. This is the reason why, because y'all were doing this shit, man. You know, so the thing is, hey, it's never trust thy enemy. You know what I mean? These nations of the world, these countries of the world are working together to bring in a new world order. It's gonna be a worldly thing. So they really working together. You could tell they're working together. Just look at space. So they use each other's equipment and work together with each other's technology to get to space. But you think on Earth they warring and they hate each other, but when we go out of space, we all together as one and using each other's. Come on, man, stop the bullshit, bro. They're competitors, but they're working together. So with what Russia and China is doing, America's in on it. They're also in on it too. They're making it look like they're against Russia and China coming together and having a gold standard, but they're really in on it. But to you, they making it look like they're against it and like it's gonna hurt them, so you could choose a side. No, really, they're in on it. They're all planning this to collapse America. The people who rule America, going back to the small hats, they want to collapse it and they want to collapse the dollar. They fund both sides of the war, man. So really, they're in on it. It's not a real war. Yeah, people gonna die and there's missiles. I'm not saying in that way. I'm saying it's a planned thing. You guys are the ones that's being tricked by thinking that they really are enemies. No, they're competitors and they do compete in different ways, right? But really, they're all in on it to collapse America, right? And NATO, because they want a one world order, because they don't have that much time. They have to prepare themselves. You know, Esau could see things in space, man, that he's not telling us about. Every now and then things slip through, and we actually like, oh look, that was a cherry. They caught it or caught a glimpse of it. But there's way more clear and detailed things that Esau knows about, man. And he knows that the Lord is coming, man. The Lord sends Esau signals, man. The Lord is in control of everything, man. The Lord gave Esau his technology, man. So the Lord could show Esau things through that technology, man. The Lord could speak to some of these higher up Edomites, man, like these small hats, like the banker families. He could speak directly to them. He controls them too. Just like he controlled Pharaoh. Just like he controlled the king of Babylon. All the kings. Alexander the Greek, the Lord controlled all of them, man. So he's letting them know, like, the time is coming, man. Because he's letting his prophets know the time is coming. Because we could read and discern the times, man. The Lord gave us that ability. They know that the time is coming because they see the prophets out on the highways and byways. That's one of the that's one of the signs. Because like it says in Amos 3, the Lord should do nothing except for he, roughly paraphrasing, he show his prophets first. So when you see those prophets out there prophesying, that lets you know, oh, it's getting close. You see what I'm saying? So they are trying to come with this new world order in this mark of the beast. They trying to prepare themselves for that war. They putting weapons up in space, man. They building technology and spaceships, man, to mimic the chariots so they could get prepared, man. And one of the things, you can't go to war like it says in Luke, I believe that's 12 or 11, where it says, a nation divided, how should it be able to stand? So Esau know, like, the way that his nation is right now and all these countries divided, how they gonna fight against the Lord? So they want a one world order to bring everything together so they can have a better chance to fight against the Lord. Hey, they need to do the best they can. That's all I could say. The Lord coming with some shit for their asses, man. They better do the best they can. And we all know it ain't gonna work. But Esau has it in his heart that he gonna try the best he can, though. He gonna fight to the death like a warrior. But the Lord put that in his spirit. See, that's the scary thing about it, is that the Lord actually put that in his spirit, because the Lord, like, I want you to fight to the death. Because the Lord wants a battle. Even though it's still not going to be a battle for him. But the Lord wants a battle, man. That's how warriors are. A God of war. You know, he wants a battle. He don't want it to just be just a blowout. The Lord wants to bring out his big guns. Like, just imagine, like, because, you know, in our mind, we think, like, why the Lord Ben ain't took Esau out? Why would the Lord, the Wright brothers just created the plane? Why would the Lord come take them out then? It wouldn't even be no fight. So the Lord giving them technology to make them stronger so he could have a better fight. You know, the Lord got weapons. You know what I mean? Just imagine that. Like, man, I can't even use 95% of my weapon arsenal because these weapons are just way too powerful for them. It wouldn't even be fair. So let me build them up a little bit, you know what I mean? So I could actually bring out some of these weapons that I got. So instead of using 5%, at least I could use 15 or 20% of my arsenal right now. Because I done built them up and made them more powerful to put on a bigger fight. But the Lord still got another 80% that you ain't even... You see what I'm saying? So Esau's just completely done with that. I'm going to say salvation to the elect. Shalom.